Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks at TaughtToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about how a lack of discipline, personal discipline specifically, keeps people in bondage to mediocrity. Now, this is bondage they're choosing of their own free will, but it's something that is particularly common for the vast majority of people. You see it everywhere. For instance, on Monday of this week, I was talking with a woman, and she said some words and got tongue-tied, and her comment about that, which is no big deal, who cares, said, well, that's what I get for trying to string 3 words together on a Monday. Now, this is one of those basket of ideas that people have about days of the week, especially if they work Monday through Friday, and then they have the weekends off, Saturday and Sunday, and they don't do anything, or at least not anything productive. The basic idea being that, well, Monday is now trying to get ramped back up, start gaining momentum again because I didn't do anything in the weekend. I lost all my momentum on the weekend, and now I can barely even speak. And then, of course, Wednesday being called hump day because the days of the week are viewed as if a hill. So Monday starting off, Tuesday going up a little bit more, Wednesday being the middle, the hump of the hill, and then Thursday starting to go downhill, and Friday the bottom, because you're trying to get to the weekend. That's what you're living for, is the weekend. And Friday, of course, being called, thank God it's Friday, TGIF, thank goodness it's Friday, whatever people say, as if that's something to live for. Live for the weekend. Now you don't have to work. Now you don't have to be disciplined anymore, because they view discipline as the boss or a job telling them what to do, putting things in place that they have to follow and they have to be disciplined and aligned with. But here's where value comes in life, and substance, and the fact that you're a person of character becomes greatly important, is when you're disciplined in yourself, not following other people's orders, but because you follow your own orders, that you hold yourself to a high standard. You're accountable to yourself, of course, under God. But because God's not here with a rod hitting you and forcing you to do certain things, which is the way many people present their human bosses, as if they're somehow slave masters, which of course is not the case, especially in Western countries. In most civilized countries in the world, you freely choose to work or not work. So people who are having problems with a boss, that's something you're choosing. There's an old saying that says, the first time it's a mistake, the second time it's a choice. Meaning, if you're having something happen, the first time could be just a mistake. But if you allow it to continue to happen, that same thing repeats, then you're making a choice to have that happen. That's not a mistake anymore. That's a choice. Well, this lack of discipline is a choice people make. They proclaim it gladly. Oh, thank goodness it's Friday. And then they're going to relax and do nothing on the weekend, they're proclaiming it. They're going to lose all their momentum. Now it's just time to do nothing. And having a day of rest is fine, but part of that day of rest in the command before even the law of Moses was that you work 6 days, which most people are not fulfilling. Actually, most people are not even fulfilling working 3 days. If you really add up what they're doing, it's a lot of useless time being wasted. But mediocrity will do that to you, but that's a choice. This isn't something where, okay, you had a bad day. This is a choice people are making. Not a mistake, a choice. Because it's something they're doing as a pattern over and over and over again of losing their momentum. If they even gain momentum. Now, I've talked to people working Monday through Fridays, and they'll say, well, I still just haven't got, it's Tuesday or Wednesday, I still haven't got back in the groove of work since the weekend. Why? Why are you losing the momentum and becoming... I would be embarrassed if I was working for someone else and I wasn't performing at my highest potential, and it's already 3 days into the work week and I'm still not performing at a standard level or even an excellent level. That's embarrassing. But instead of being embarrassed and holding themselves to a higher standard, they have no intent of improving, no intent of changing, no intent of making anything different. And listen, On your day off, if you have days off, you don't have to go into work and everything, but you can plan. I talk about this in business, that having a business plan is obviously a waste of time. People get these great business plans and they try to follow them to a T. And of course they fall apart instantly because there's all kinds of variables you didn't plan for. But the planning that goes into that business plan is extremely important. Planning is great and very, very, very important. So you can have those days off if you must. You need to work 6 days. But if you have a day off, a day of rest to honor God, you could still think and plan about how you're going to continue your momentum that you've had for these 6 days. You're taking 1 day off, and then you're going to go back in, continuing the momentum and even ramping up to greater levels. Not coming into the work week barely able to function. Expecting yourself not to be able to function, expecting yourself not to be able to perform at a high level because, well, it's Monday, you can't function on a Monday. You shouldn't even expect yourself to be able to speak on a Monday. My friend, that should never be your situation. I understand that most people, that's just what they are going through the motions, and unfortunately many of them are just following what they saw their parents do or their guardians or whoever they were around as a kid that they looked up to. They're just following those patterns. They're not even thinking at all. There's never any thought going into it. It's just a pattern that they've gotten themselves into, a rut, and they love that rut because any venturing out of it, first thing, it's hard. You got to dig yourself out because they're so far in the rut that they're way down in the ground, and it's a lot of effort to get out, and they don't want to put forth that effort. It's the weekend. I just got to relax. I can't put forth effort and continue my momentum. No, I got to just relax. Love of ease. That's what I got to do. It's the weekend. So my friend, this video is coming out on a Friday. It could be any day of the week when you're watching this, but here's what's important to note. Don't go into this weekend losing all your momentum because you've refused to be disciplined. You should not need another human being looking over your shoulder to make you become disciplined, to make you accomplish things in life. That should be something coming forth from within you. This is one of the problems with most motivation and motivational speakers and things like this is those things get people hyped up and they get really motivated and they're going to do all these great things all of a sudden. But when they leave the motivational speech or they stop watching the motivational video, all that motivation dries up pretty quickly. Because it's not internal. It's not coming from within. It's not the product of a disciplined and diligent mind. It's coming from external sources that are pumping you up, giving you a little pep rally, and then you go back out and you have no more motivation, and you maybe continue with that for a day or two, and then you're back to mediocrity because you don't have the discipline. You, my friend, must become a disciplined person. This doesn't mean other people disciplining you, keeping you in line, holding you to a high standard. You keeping yourself in line, holding yourself to a high standard, expecting the best. That each day you go through life is a success. Whatever that may be for you. It's not about you have to be a success if you outdo someone else. No, you outdo yourself. Because whatever your capabilities are unique within you. But you can be the best that you possibly could be. And if you do that, each and every day is a success. Each and every day is another step of disciplined, thought out, well-researched, hard work. So intelligent work and hard work, you're going to have a great, successful, wealthy, prosperous, abundant life. That's the natural result of that, of being a disciplined person. My friend, I hope I've given you things to think about today, to really reorganize things so that you're not losing momentum going into the weekend. You're not using the weekend as a time to become undisciplined and unfocused. But you continue that focus, continue that discipline, continue that momentum on each and every day, becoming greater and greater and greater. My friend, I want to encourage you to get my book, prayer that actually works, because in it there are prayers and affirmations and also a teaching about your subconscious mind and getting yourself out of those ruts. Because if you use those affirmations and those prayers and belief of faith in God, you'll start getting better results, and you'll start seeing yourself as a more disciplined person, and you'll be that disciplined person. You'll be that man that Proverbs 22:29 says, "Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men." My friend, you have an opportunity to be very disciplined. And my book, Prayer That Actually Works, will be very instrumental in that if you'll read it and take action on it. It only takes you a few minutes a day if you'll do the things that are mentioned in there. The prayers are very short, but they're powerful. They're scriptural-based prayers that will get you results and change you from one of unfocused and undisciplined life, needing motivation externally, to one that is internally motivated, pushing forth progress, productivity, success, wealth, and abundance. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.